From the gorgeous campus of Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama, a school that recently voted #3 HBCU in the nation. We take a look at some of the sites just outside of the Chappie James Center. That's where the basketball action takes place on the Golden Tigers campus, and that's where you can find us here on GTSN inside of Chappie James Center. Charles Ward alongside Mark Lassiter with the play call, and last on a Monday evening here in Tuskegee, we say Happy King Day to start things off.
Happy King Day. We talk about Stevie Wonder being a national treasure. He was also, along with his incredible portfolio of music, responsible for making the King holiday a federal holiday. But one of his favorite tunes of mine is Golden Lady. And even Stevie Wonder can see that the Golden Ladies of Tuskegee have been playing incredible defense, picking up off that game from Central State.
Indeed, you're right. They have been playing golden over the last 3 ball games, which has enabled them to win 3 ball games in a row, looking to make it 4 here against the Nemesis in the west of the SIAC, the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. They are in 3rd. Tuskegee comes in number 4, so it's a significant matchup for both of these teams.
These two teams come in with very similar records. It's an interesting matchup, Charles, because they're very strong in the backcourt. There's some matchups that we'll get into later in terms of the individuals, but the pace of this game, I expect it to be very up-tempo.
We will see if that in fact plays out as the Golden Tigers get set to host the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State live right here in the Chappie James Center. We'll take a break here and more basketball action just ahead on GTSN. And we're back live here inside the Chappie James Arena in the Alabama Department of Public Health pregame show, getting set for basketball action as the Golden Tigers get set to host the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Golden Tigers coming in at even 8-8 and 5-4 in SIAC play. Thoroughbreds 5-11, 4-6 in conference play. And Mark, as we talk about these two teams getting set to meet here, perhaps one tumbling in the standings in the east or the west of the SIAC. Let's start out by talking about the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. A couple of players on that roster that have really been the fuel for that team throughout the season. We'll start with Helani Cantone.
Helani Cantone, an interesting player, and I happened to have a chance to talk to her before the game. Helani talked about the idea that this team is just now starting to gel. The fact that they've gone on this winning streak. She also talked about the rotation being extended to 9 players, so Tuskegee is feeling very good about themselves right now.
Added note with Helani, just a year ago, she would have been the starting lineup for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State at the point guard position, but transferred to Tuskegee in the off-season. So she's got to have that added level of pressure coming into this ball game.
Well, it's interesting during pregame. I didn't see her peeking to the Kentucky State sideline during the pregame warm-up. She was all about her business on the Tuskegee end of the court.
Speaking of business, getting a lot of business from Brittany Boland, leading that the Tuskegee team throughout the regular season. Limited number of scoring opportunities for her because she's having to do so many different things on the floor, but a leader for them nonetheless.
Well, I was amazed at how Boland played against Central State, matching up against much larger players. Got a lot of confidence, really directed the floor well.
Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State, they are led by a couple of players that are really going to have to be kept in check this afternoon. One of them will be Khalil Bryant, the junior from Washington, D.C.
Bryant is a very quick ball player. Checking her in the pregame warm-up again, they like to spread the floor, work the ball around. A lot of perimeter offense for this Kentucky State team.
Bryant leads them in rebounding at over 8 per ball game, but they get most of their offensive punch from Nigel Fenelon, and Fenelon really aggressive in terms of scoring the basket.
You know, it's interesting. Kentucky State has some size, just like Central State. So the sideline for Tuskegee is going to have a challenge how much they want to use their depth.
We'll see if they can contain Bryant and Fenelon, and we'll see if Cantone and Boland can do their usual. Just ahead, basketball action on GTSN. Stay with us.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Tuskegee Nation, I'm Reginald Ruffin, Director of Athletics, and this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Of Kentucky State, glad you could join us and spend part of your MLK Day with us on this Monday in January. Tuskegee looking to make it 4 in a row against the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. This is the first time these teams have met during this season, but they are familiar with each other because they've been in the conference for so long.
Charles, I'm going to throw out another bonus player to watch. Shannon Niles of Kentucky State. She is a player very quick in the backcourt. She's a starter. Excellent footwork and a decent shot.
Since we're throwing in bonus players, let's talk about the Kentucky State, the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. With Jasmine Manuel having that concussion a couple of weeks ago, they have been asking a couple of players to stand up in that lineup. Notably, Cyan Holmes is one of those. Samaya Mackin is doing a lot better on the offensive end for them. And Alexandria Johnson at that off-guard position. She has really made some strong contributions over the last couple of games.
Here's what surprised me against Central State. I thought that Tuskegee would be overmatched size-wise. Now, Kentucky State comes in with some sizable players. The experience of playing against Central State's front line is going to help Tuskegee this afternoon.
I don't know, you had a chance to talk to Alani and a couple of players before the ball games, and one of the things they were talking about was that they felt like they were just getting into team rhythm. We'll see if that plays out this afternoon. We'll take a break here on GTSN. Basketball just ahead.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, we'll get the lights back on.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, welcome to Chappie Games Arena for the beautiful historic game of Tuskegee University.
Why didn't mine go out?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15.
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Golden Tiger fans, I'm Anthony Holloman, Commissioner of the SIAC, and this is Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, we'll get the lights back on.
Yeah. My power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15.
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Golden Tiger fans, I'm Anthony Holloman, Commissioner of the SIAC, and this is Golden Tiger.
Arena getting set for Golden Tigers basketball on the Golden Tigers Sports Network. Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State visiting this afternoon for basketball action. Let's go courtside now to Paul Carney to get the starting lineups for both teams as we get set for this SIAC contest.
At ball, 5'11" junior from Washington, D.C. Number 0, Kalia Bryant. At point guard, 5'6" junior from Snellville, Georgia. Number 2, Shannon 9. And a guard, 5'14" from Los Angeles, California. Number 4, Deanna McBroom. And a guard, 5'3" graduate from Brooklyn, New York. Number 5, Naja Finneman. And forward, 5'10" freshman from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Number 14, Maya Adair Marr. And now, here's the starting lineup for your Golden Tigers, coached by Chappie Webster, assistant coach Montel Jones, who have a overall record of 88 and 5-4 in conference play. That guard, 5'5" senior from Oklahoma, Alabama. Number 1, LaDasia Hughley. And a guard, 5'8" graduate from Apopka, Florida. Number 4, Delani Cantone. And it falls, 6'1" graduate from Evanston, Illinois. Number 5, Cyan Holmes. And center, 6'1" junior from Columbus, Georgia. Number 22, Shamaya Mackin. And it guard, 5'6" graduate from Trophy Club, Texas. Number 23, Brittany Boland. This is for the game. Marcus Smith, Samantha Marlon, and Courtney Walker.
Starting lineups here inside Chappie James Arena, getting set for Golden Tigers basketball. They'll host the Thoroughbreds, Kentucky State. Women's action, men to follow here on our coverage.
You want a fun matchup to watch. Watch Shannon Niles, 5'6", against Brittany Boland. Both very powerful players. Low to the ground, explosive.
We'll keep an eye on that matchup as we'll keep our eye on everything that unfolds here at Chappie James. Glad you could join us for our coverage on GTSN. Charles Ward, Mark Lassner, and our full production crew here as Cyan Holmes gets set to jump for Tuskegee. And jumping for the Thoroughbreds, it's Bryant, and Tuskegee will be on defense first. Half court set for the Thoroughbreds. De'Ara McBroom, the junior from Los Angeles, pushes down in the corner with the pass to Finneman. And they go quickly inside. They get the first field goal of the ball game.
Running that spread offense right off the top, getting a jumper from the corner, wide open.
So they start things off with the three-point basket. Trying to answer is Boland, and double B. She pops it good for Tuskegee. So Boland, that's the way they want her to start, as a firecracker, and she knocked down that first three.
That's a good sign for Tuskegee. You get Boland loose, it really opens up everything else inside.
Tied at 3. Early substitutions in the basketball. Bailey Ford, the freshman from Hendersonville, Tennessee, out on the floor for head coach Amani Williams. She's in her second year at Kentucky State. Boland again for 3. Double B, same result.
Book it, Boland from deep 2 times in a row.
That'll make it 6-3 early. Good start for Tuskegee. Half court set for Kentucky State. Niles out front with a jumper, back of the iron on hers, but they'll run that one down with another look. Early woman-to-woman defense for Kentucky, for Tuskegee. Whistles on the penetration and a foul call on the inside.
Interesting to see Shannon Niles moving without the basketball, made the entry pass and sprinted right to the corner looking for that return on the jump shot.
They call that foul on Mack, and then Samaya's picked up her first. Half court set for Kentucky State now. Down at the block, they swing it down in the corner. Now right side, runner to the glass. That shot is off the mark. Mackin runs that errant shot down for Tuskegee. Over to Cantone. Left side Boland. She's hit 2 3-pointers early on. She'll try another on the other side. This one creases the rim. Hughley gave a chase at it, but it comes clear into the hands of Niles. Half court set for Kentucky State. Tuskegee with a 6-3 lead. We're early here. First period of play. Bryant, hard push down in the corner. Shot there by Niles is off the mark.
Niles got to her spot, wide open, just wasn't able to hit.
Hughley left side trying to find some space on the inside. Got it down low to Samaya. She lost it momentarily. That threw her rhythm off. Thoroughbreds back the other way to the glass. That shot's off the mark. Too deep there on the missed shot was Ford.
Both teams looking to run early. Tuskegee not as up-tempo, but you can tell Kentucky State is looking for that outlet pass to generate the break.
Back and then the corner squares with the jumper. Samaya back of the iron. The rebound fought for. Nice job by Cyan to fight to keep that play alive. And a whistle down low.
Something for the players to figure out how this game will be called with this up-tempo style of play. A lot of contact early, and they'll have to adjust to how the officials decide to call it.
Call that foul on Kentucky State. Nadir Myers guilty of the foul. That's her first.
At this pace, Charles, I expect Tuskegee to go deep into their bench.
Half court set, 7:30 remains. Boland left of the cylinder, pushes it to Cantone. Alani lost it across the paint, now she regains. They'll get a fresh 20 as a result. They won't. They'll look at that shot clock because there's no reset there. They'll have to run that down to the appropriate time.
Officials communicating cross-court with one another. The game clock showing 7:22. Shot clock showing 20 seconds remaining. They're going to reset the Tuskegee offense inside of half court.
They'll keep it at 7:22, but they'll give them the full 20 as your reference last on the clock. So Tuskegee, well, right now that's where they have it. Marcus Smith, the crew chief for this ball game. Now they take it to the appropriate 12. Out front, Cantone. Tuskegee gonna have to work pretty quickly here in this half-court set. Alani jumped out front on a double, then they throw the basketball away.
Good front of the ball by Tuskegee. Leah Bryant getting in the way.
Half-court serve for KSU now. Working it across the paint is McBroom. Now on the move, left side all the way to the glass. Good left-handed look there by Witherspoon, just not able to finish. The rebound tapped around. Hughley will be guilty of the foul there.
Second open shot that Shannon Niles has missed. Wide open. That's a mid-range shot that she normally hits.
Yep. Gina Witherspoon with better position on the inside that time. Hughley trying to come in from the backside, and she picks up her first personal. Empty pass, and up top they work it with 6:53 left in this first period. Jumper out front. The rimmer is off the mark there by Bryant. Hughley with it for Tuskegee. Right side, Boland.
Deja Hughley setting it up.
Works it right side and a whistle. Foul that call on Bailey Ford. Ford just out on the floor, and she picks up her first personal.
I have to give Hughley credit, though, Charles. She works hard on both ends of the floor. Defense working, breaking up that pass. On offense, she's a key player to get it triggered.
Absolutely. Knows the quality of her game as well in terms of the style play that she has to play on the floor. And she evidences that every time. Left side, Boland running it down in the corner now. 10 to shoot, steps back, bounce pass at the block. Cyan in traffic underneath the defense and got a lay in for Tuskegee.
Excellent move without traveling, getting the ball up without contact, right through the rim.
Yeah, knew exactly where she was on the floor. Got the floater, her first of the ball game. Right hand shot inside, that was off the mark by McBroom. Here comes Tuskegee now. Here comes Hughley left side. Backing with it, back out top to LaDeja. Under 6 remaining, Tuskegee with an 8-3 lead. Cyan working down at the block, and a whistle and a travel violation there.
Tuskegee had 2 decent looks inside. First was denied. Second, a little bit of hesitation on the turnover.
5:52. You take a look at that last basket by the Golden Tigers on there to the floor. They lead it 8-3. Up top, McBroom pushes it left side. Niles. Hughley steps up defensively. Now up top, they're working again. Trying to get it at the right block to go up top to Bryant instead. Foul on extended with a jumper. She missed there.
Tuskegee doing an excellent job defending that half-court offense.
Macken got the rebound. Over to Cantone. Cantone facing her former squad there with the basketball out front. Across the floor, Boland. She's free, fires a three. Double B. That one's off the mark. Mackin at the block. And it'll stay with Tuskegee. Good job by Samaya down there to keep that basketball on there to the floor.
Macklin had perfect position, Charles, on the right side of the rack. Got her hand on the ball. Really was thinking to go back up with it. Tuskegee maintains possession.
5:14 remains in this first period of play. Jasmine Manuel on the floor for her first spot of duty. She'll replace Samaya in the lineup. Jasmine, 12 points, 5 rebounds in the win against Central State.
Both teams going bigger right now with their substitutions. Tuskegee's beefed up their front court, and Kentucky State has responded in kind.
Bailey Lee, the junior from Chattanooga, Tennessee, on the floor for Coach Williams and the Thoroughbreds. Jasmine a little taller between the two. Let's see if they try to take advantage of that. Alexandria Johnson out on the floor for TU as well. She handles the basketball. Dumped it down low to Jasmine. That's exactly where they want to go. Jasmine just not able to finish that trip. Back the other way come the Thoroughbreds, 3-on-3 basketball. Niles circles top of the key. Left side floater. Nicely done there by Niles. You talked about her.
Going to have to get a hand in her face because once she gets her confidence, it's going to be trouble.
Niles 8 points per ball game average for the Thoroughbreds. Tuskegee leads at 8-5. 4:40 left, first period. Right side, Alexandria. Holmes in the corner, now at the block, Jasmine. One-on-one to the glass. Jasmine finishes for Tuskegee.
Jasmine thought she was fouled last time down. This time, much better with it. Put the ball on the floor once, went up strong.
Yes, she did. You're right. Thought she was fouled. Back trying to answer. That shot's off the mark by Lee. And we go back the other way.
Interesting, Charles, that Tuskegee's jumped out to this early lead as they did against Central State. Now the question is, can they get out and not look back?
4:21 remains. Media timeout. Tuskegee leads 10-5 over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. We'll take a break here on GTSN.
Staying up to date on all recommended vaccines is one of the safest preventive care measures available to protect you and your family from disease. Many children and adults that delayed vaccination during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It is crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Tuskegee fans, let's all do our part to get back on track. Protect yourself and others by making sure you are up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Moving first quarter, Tuskegee leading by 5.
Watch Kentucky State how they like to bring the double team really quickly.
42nd meeting between these two clubs since 2003.
There's the double.
Jasmine, but they got the jump ball call. Yeah, threw it right into the traffic. Sometimes the most obvious pass is not the one you want to take. Threw that one right into potential harm there on the double, but the arrow kept it with Tuskegee. They do the same thing again, not so lucky this time. Thoroughbreds come away with the basketball. Niles works it, lead behind McBroom. Now back up top on the move. This is Isom. They move it around the horn. McBroom, runner, missed on the shot. Good look by her, just didn't stay. TU with the basketball. Cantone across the timeline. Nice bounce at the block. Down to Bowling, but a good recovery defensively. And good work by Jasmine to stay with that to follow it up for the lay-in.
She was calling for it twice. She was down the floor early. Fortunately, she got it back a second time. Got the score.
3:13 left, first period. 12-5 lead for the Golden Tigers. Good Alabama power in the point paint there for Tuskegee on the other end. Jumper, Isom in the corner, way off the mark, but the rebound underneath by Bailey. And she got an easy layup as a result. Jasmine was there, but that basketball came right down to Bailey underneath the defense for the lay-in. Jasmine on a give inside and a whistle there.
This matchup between Bailey Lee and Jasmine Manuel is one to watch. They're both winded right now going end to end. They're sizable players. The conditioning is going to be really important to determine what their minutes are going to be in this game.
Nice call on that. Jasmine, of course, coming off that concussion. We'll see just how much. And Coach Wester's well of that. She won't wear out too much because she's in the comfortable position now of having some good backups to ensure that she does not have to do that.
Well, she'll be needed because Bailey Lee is 6'3".
Jasmine from the line to shoot. She hits the first free throw for the Golden Tigers.
Like the form and the rotation on that free throw.
Jasmine from the line, 75% shooting for Tuskegee. And missed on the second there.
Put the kibosh on her.
Yeah, all the way. 2:43 left, first period. Tuskegee with a 13-7 lead. Thorobreds with the basketball on their end of the floor. Bryant on the move, left side, a collection. That was Isom. Tuskegee, good collapsing defense, taken away. 3-on-3 basketball now. Alexandria in the corner, Bowling. She's free. Here's the three. Missed it on the shot. It rolls on the back end of the cylinder. Had the look she wanted down in the corner. Niles quickly back the other way for KSU. Across the floor, they work it now. Good bounce pass, but blocked one way defensively by Alexandria Johnson. It's loose on the floor. Tuskegee with a couple of players there.
Tuskegee's interior defense excellent. On that bounce pass, you could see the cutter for Kentucky State open just for a moment. Tuskegee closed, got a hand on the ball.
It stays with Kentucky, but you're right, last good piece of defense by the Golden Tigers down low. 2:02 remains first period. Out front with the basketball. It's Niles for Kentucky State. The whistles, and they'll get her with the off arm, trying to push off the coverage by Bowling. We'll call it on that screen instead against Williams. That's her first personal. Trying to set that screen.
Nadja Fenelon reporting back in for Kentucky State.
Bowling, far side of the floor to inbound it for TU. In the backcourt, Hughley. She's doubled immediately. Over to Alexandria. Up the floor now to Bobbitt. Hughley, right side with it. We're less than 2 minutes remaining. At the block, they go to Jasmine. One-on-one against Bailey. Lee, Jasmine to the glass, right side. Missed on the shot. Rebound, back to the Thorobreds. They come the other way. Fenelon down in the corner. Got space on the jumper. Back of the iron on the shot. May with a rebound for Tuskegee. About a 2.7 rebounds per ball game average for Tuskegee.
There's the double.
There's Bobbitt for the jumper. Missed it there. A rebound. It was Bowling. Bobbitt got a rebound. Back to Brittany, left side. Brittany missed on the lay-in left side.
Offensive rebounding for Tuskegee so far, very strong.
Indeed, just haven't been able to finish. Shot there in the paint, that's off the mark. Rebound, there's a Wind Creek there. Yellowwood block shot inside there by Jasmine Manuel as they tried to get it inside to Witherspoon. That was rejected by Jasmine. Under a minute remains, first period. Tuskegee with a 13-7 lead. Tuskegee at this point, 5 of 16 shooting from the floor. 8 to shoot. Johnson, left corner. Manuel, jumper. Got it.
Manuel found a spot near the low post, composed herself, made an excellent shot.
Alexandria Johnson, get credit for that assist. She drew that defense away from Jasmine. 21 seconds left, first half. Witherspoon with it up top for Kentucky State. Now out front with it, it's Fenelon. 10 to shoot for the Thoroughbreds to win this first quarter of play. Fenelon on the move now. Right side running jumper by her. She missed on it. Backside rebound to Bobbitt at the buzzer. That one's off the mark by WBB, but at the end of the first period, it's been all Tuskegee. Good start for Tuskegee. They lead it 15-7 over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. As we go to the break, you take a look at this nice play here on the dish, and Jasmine with the nice soft jumper in the corner, the finish. Golden Tigers lead it. We'll take a break on GTSN.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Tuskegee enters the second period with a 15-7 lead. Niles running jumper right side, lost the balance before she got the shot airborne. Danielle Bolton out on the floor for her first rebound for Tuskegee. LaDeja right side streaks at the baseline. A couple of players took a hard fall down there as Hughley was streaking toward the basket right side.
Shannon Niles hit the floor very hard as Bolin was looking for her spot, going full speed.
No foul called on that basketball to Tuskegee. They inbound it to Bolton, but she had it taken away from her by Fenelon. Fenelon bounce pass right corner. They go right back on the inside to Bryant. Bryant to the rack, and she got a lay-in. Her first field goal of the ball game for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Tuskegee 6 of 17 shooting from the floor. Cantone, right corner jumper. Halani routed it, wouldn't stay. It was down in the cylinder and popped out. Tough break for Tuskegee. Fenelon left side for KSU, and she is fouled by Hughley.
Halani Cantone has an ankle brace on her right ankle. Looking at her jog back up the court, it seemed to be that she was favoring it just a bit coming up court. We'll keep an eye on that, but may not be at full speed looking at that brace that she's wearing.
9:05 left in this first half. See if we can't get a shot at that brace at some point here. You're right. Tuskegee with a 15-9 lead.
Her gait seemed just a bit off the last time down the court.
Fenelon got that first free throw for the Thoroughbreds. Makes it 15-10. She's good on both from the line. Cantone with the basketball across the timeline. Across the floor to Johnson. They push it in the corner to Cyan. Back out front, Halani. Cantone surveys on the penetration. Right side, Bolin. She'll square for three. Bolin can't find the range. Hit her first two. Gone cold since then. 8:38 remains first half. Bounce pass in traffic. How about threading the needle there was Naja Fenelon, and the easy finish for Bryant down low.
Fenelon, the point guard out of Brooklyn, New York, with the excellent bounce pass on the read on the break.
Cuts the lead to 2. Tuskegee's gone cold here in the last couple minutes of that first period and into the second. Cantone, top of the key. Right side, Alexandria for 3. She missed on the shot. How about the square out there by Isom for Kentucky State to get the easy rebound. Fenelon up top, Isom. She'll step back, pop a 3. Missed on it badly, but the rebound and whistles on the inside. Easy positioning on the inside that time for Adair Myers. She beat Bolton to the block, and Tuskegee lucky to get that and knock that one out of bounds.
The frustrating thing for the Tuskegee offense, Charles, they're getting good looks at the hoop. They're just not able to complete the shots.
Half court set for the Thoroughbreds now. Fenelon on the move on Bolton. Or Bolton, that is. Now they got it inside. First opportunity is missed on the inside, but the follow-up by Aaliyah Hayes is good. And Hayes gets her first 2 of the ball game.
Kentucky State hitting the offensive glass a little bit harder right now.
They get rewarded. They tie the basketball game up at 15. Cantone in the left corner. Now Mackin on the floor. Right side all the way to the glass. Missed on the shot. Cantone got a backside rebound, and she got the putback for TU.
Excellent move by Cantone. Pick up that loose ball and take it right to the rack.
Her first field goal of the ball game. Back the other way. Shot by Hayes is off the mark. Bolton runs that down for Tuskegee. Gives it over to Alexandria. Right corner Mackin, jumper there. Samaya missed on the shot. Cantone, Holmes trying to contest, not able to get there to the basketball. Back the other way comes Niles and the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State with 7 minutes left. First half. On a weave, this is Isom. Bounce pass, and they beat the defense again. Easy lay-in for Bryant, and that's enough for Coach Wester. She sees something wrong with that Golden Tiger defense. That was too easy. They take a timeout. 6:52 remains in this first half. We're tied at 17. Golden Tigers and the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Real letdown for that Golden Tiger defense that last trip down the floor.
Also, it seems like Kentucky State has picked up the pace just a bit. They're using offensive rebounding to get the advantage against Tuskegee. Looking at the shooting percentages, Tuskegee only shooting 30%. Now, Central State, not much. Well, we have a Central State stat up there, but the problem with Tuskegee, they're getting up open looks, just not able to hit their outside shots.
Yeah, only 7 of 23 shooting, 7 of 27 for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. And you're right, they're open, just not hitting at this point. But that defense, that's why Coach Wester took that time out. Last couple of trips down the floor, but easy baskets for the Thoroughbreds because they somehow able to seep in there, find some space, and get some easy lay-ins. Set to resume play. Bolton will inbound it in the backcourt. We're tied at 17 each. 6:52 before the intermission. Wish you all a happy ML King Day. And thank you for joining us for our coverage of Golden Tigers basketball. Boland down in the corner to Holmes. Cyan trying to cut it inside the Blaze, and they throw the basketball away. Brianna Blaze inserted into the lineup for Coach Wester early in this basketball game. Excited to see her continue to play because she's really lit things up the last couple games for Tuskegee to give them a spark. But on this trip down the floor, Hayes is able to slide in and get another lay-in left side. And Kentucky State with this first lead of the ball game, 19-17. Alani with it out front. In the corner, Brianna Glaze. She'll fire a three-pointer. Glaze missed on the shot. Backside rebound cleared by Fenelon. Fenelon works it down in the corner to Niles. Under 6 remains first half of play. Isom works it on the weave up top. 13 to shoot for Kentucky State. Niles will fire the three-pointer from out front and knock it down for the Thoroughbreds.
The challenge for Tuskegee, Charles, is how much they want to fight over these screens that Kentucky State is running. They're getting space on their end of the floor by setting these picks, getting shooters open.
Across the floor, Boland right side steps in with a jumper, and Boland finally finds the range, not from behind the arc, but got a field goal. They needed one there.
Tuskegee adjusting their range. Instead of being impatient, taking the three, getting a little bit closer to the rack, as you mentioned. They can't be content with just shooting from long range.
22-19 Tuskegee trails. Take a look at some of the action on the floor as players are making a back end in the lineups. That half-court set for Tuskegee. Boland, as you referenced, went in a little tighter. Could have taken the three, but just a little bit more confidence, a little bit shorter toward the cylinder.
Took that extra dribble, got the extra step closer, as you mentioned.
Half-court set now for the Thoroughbreds. They work it right side. Ice him with it. Travel violation for her. Turnover will give it back to Tuskegee.
You know, this young generation sometimes falls in love with a three-point shot a little bit too much. Tuskegee has some decent shooters. They just have to adjust their range, work over the double team, and get a little bit closer to the rack.
That's right. You build your confidence that way as well. 5:10 left first half. Tuskegee trailing 22-19. Cantone, far side of the floor. Cyan works it over to Boland. Now Glaze in the corner. Back to Boland. Boland back to Brianna. Jumper there by Brianna. Missed on the shot there. Back and runs it down to the corner to save it for TU. Good job there by Samaya. 16 to shoot now. Holmes, top of the key, slides right side. Glaze to the glass. Nice floater there by Brianna Glaze to get that field goal.
Pass from the post for the extra toast for the score.
Oh, I like it. Up top, basketball battered around. Mackin gonna come away with it still for Tuskegee. Samayo runs the floor right side, and she'll finish with the Wind Creek Casino Montgomery fast break layup for Tuskegee. Good job by Samayo to anticipate and run the floor with the basketball.
Defense leading to excellent offense.
4:15 left first half now. Tuskegee regains the lead, and Boland with a tap, almost coming away with one. 23-22.
Now that's more like the active hands we saw against Central State on Saturday, where Tuskegee's defense just picked up the intensity, got a lot of loose balls, and had the extra possessions as a result.
A couple of subs out on the floor now for Kentucky State. Madrea Williams out on the floor. Back out there is Bailey Ford. Basketball kicked. It'll stay with KSU. 4:04 remains first half.
Watch how Tuskegee decides to fight over these screens that are being set by Kentucky State.
Niles to inbound it, pushes it out front to Ford. Across the floor now, they give it to Hayes. 11 to shoot for Kentucky State. Bailey looks back toward the bench, gives it over to McBroom. Now up top, Niles, left side, she'll have to hurry. She does before the buzzer, and she drains it for the Thorobreds. Niles just a pure shooter, you can tell by her form. 24-23, KSU leads Tuskegee. Half-court set for the Golden Tigers. Out front, Cantone, back to Boland. At the foul line, Holmes with the jumper, missed it there, fought inside to keep it alive, but she tapped it out of bounds. It'll go over to Kentucky State.
Kentucky State doing an excellent job of contending inside, but Tuskegee needs to keep running that low post action to their forwards inside.
McBroom left side to Niles. Tuskegee jumping into a zone defense now. Entry pass inside in traffic, and Glaze on the floor for Tuskegee. It'll stay with Kentucky State though. Thorobreds had a person near the cylinder trying to quick entry pass, but that lane closed pretty quickly there by the Golden Tigers. Quick entry pass, they work it inside to Williams.
Tuskegee brought a double team of their own, showing Kentucky State a bit of their own medicine, getting a turnover as a result.
They'll have the basketball with 3 minutes left as Bailey Lee comes back out onto the floor for Coach Amani Williams and the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Brianna Glaze takes a seat, a couple of good minutes for her on the floor.
Bailey Lee's listed at 6'3". She's out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. A force inside.
Cantone right side to Johnson. Alexandria up top, Boland. Back over to Johnson on the move inside the paint. Now circles back, Boland out front, thought three, back to Johnson in the corner. Cantone, she'll take a three. Back in the iron on her shot. Holmes tried to keep it alive, but Bailey Lee got the rebound for Kentucky State. McBroom right side, foul out, extended jumper. She can't find the range. Here comes Alexandria. Back with the pass to Brittany. Across the floor, Cantone. Back and squares, wants the basketball now. They'll go back up top instead to Alexandria. On the move, left side. Lost it momentarily, but Brittany Boland runs it down. 2:15 left first half. Holmes passes the block. Mack and Samaya lost it momentarily. 6 to shoot. Inside, and they'll get her for the turnover.
This is a tough match inside. De'Ara McBroom against Cantone. two very quick players. Cantone is having a difficulty. She's trying to run the baseline to get open, but McBroom is right there with her.
2:03 left in this first half of play. Tuskegee trailing it by a point, 24-23. To the Thoroughbreds, Kentucky State, number 3 team in the West, the Thoroughbreds, against the number 4 team in the West, Golden Tigers. Boland with anticipation stole that pass. Double B, lead behind Cantone, right side. Harlani, she's fouled. Get that foul before the lay-in by Cantone.
Cantone did an excellent job making the recovery, making the off-balance shot, but they're going to give it to Tuskegee, saying the foul came before the shot attempt.
Second team foul.
Foul was called on that play on transition on Bailey Ford, her second. Back out for the Thoroughbreds now. And Rihanna Williams, the freshman from Lyndhurst, Ohio, for the first time. Boland pushes back out front to Alexandria. Johnson push left side. Alexandria floater in the paint, shot it hard. And the basketball back over to KSU. They run the floor left side. Williams with a jumper. Hers spins around and falls good for her. The freshman from Lyndhurst just on the floor and her first field goal. Tuskegee trailing 26-23. Entry pass, Jasmine at the block. Jasmine to the rack, got it to fall.
Muscle and hustle inside. Turned, had 2 players on her shoulder. Had enough to overpower both of them to the rack.
Jasmine with a great effort there to get that point. And in the half-court transition, Cantone had a takeaway, and she was fouled. As you take a look at the replay there, Jasmine, just no doubt about it, the double was coming. She knew it, still got it to the rack, and got the bounce, the bank shot right side. And then meanwhile, Cantone, after the good defensive work, that'll put her at the line shooting for Tuskegee, chance to tie the ball game up. Kalani good on that first free throw.
I'm not going to say anything about her form on the first shot.
Okay. You get one more, and then from here on, you get your mic mute. She got them both from the line. So Cantone gives Tuskegee the lead with 63 seconds remaining in this first half of play. Whistles back the other way. And we got a foul called down low. I think they're going to call that on Bailey Lee down low. Instead, they show it on ISO on the scoreboard. So Tuskegee with a chance to claim a basket before the intermission. Boland with a 3-pointer, double B, back of the iron. She thought she had that one. Long rebound comes clear to Kentucky State. Whistles on that play inside the paint. They call that foul on Boland. Brittany picks up her first.
Hayesville just a little bit out of control as she's rumbling along the baseline trying to get that layup up. One of the Tuskegee players played the old pull out the chair from under you trick.
Sure.
She was all out of balance, but they get the foul call.
She'll be shooting 2 here. Hayes, freshman from Covington, Kentucky, got the first from the line. .81% free throw shooter for the Thoroughbreds. Two of 2 from the line that trip for her. And Tuskegee trailing by a point now. 36 seconds left. Want to go into the break with a lead. Cantone out front. Back to Alexandria. Got a jumper left side. Alexandria shot that one hard. Rebound run down on the tie-up in the backcourt now. And we go back the other way. They call Johnson for the foul in the backcourt.
Excellent hustle by Johnson. She goes to the floor trying to get that steal. Tuskegee's defense has been its signature so far.
24 seconds left first half. Thoroughbreds with a chance to close with a basket. Williams handles out front for them. 17 left. They lead 28-27. McBroom gives it up top. Lee handles. Pushes back out front now. 8 to shoot for Kentucky State. McBroom over to Niles. Niles with 3. Steps back, fires a 3. Front of the iron on the shot. And that'll bring us to the end of this first half of play. Thoroughbreds on the road battled. Tuskegee led for a good portion of that first half. They lead, the Thoroughbreds do, going into the locker room 28-27. Good job by them to answer, as you referenced, that solid defense by Tuskegee.
We expected an up-tempo, very closely contested game, and that's exactly what we got in the first half.
Tuskegee 11 of 34 shooting in that first period of play. Thoroughbreds at 11 of 33 shooting. They'll go in with the 1-point lead over the Golden Tigers. We'll take a break here on GTSN.
My power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Staying up to date on all recommended vaccines is one of the safest preventive care measures available to protect you and your family from disease. Many children and adults that delayed vaccination during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It is crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Tuskegee fans, let's all do our part to get back on track. Protect yourself and others by making sure you are up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Hi, Tuskegee fans. I'm Coach Chad Hall, your head baseball coach. Thank you for listening to the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Go TU.
James Center at the intermission of the women's ball game. Golden Tigers trailing 28-27. They're trying to make it their 4th win in a row, but right now they're trying to get the break to the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. And we talk about basketball. Turn our attention now to men's basketball. The Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Men on the floor warming up for us right now, and we're joined by head coach Benchy Taylor as his team gets set to meet the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Coach, a team you played once already during the course of the season up there. We got that ball game on the road. And as you referenced in the last ball game, when they come into the facility this afternoon, always a tough contest against the Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, it's always a close, competitive game. I think we won by 15, but with about 7 minutes left in the one-possession game, and we kind of pulled away from them a little bit. But they are awfully talented. They can shoot it. They got a lot of experience, and they're very athletic.
Well, for us, things starting to really click for us. And that last ball game had a lot of players with some impact into that contest. We were talking about perhaps a player of the game. You gave it to Kevin Seasbury, but it could have gone to anybody because you had such a great collective effort from your team. What's been the momentum coming out of that ball game as you get set for the Thoroughbreds this afternoon?
It was a really good team win. It was a really good team win because, like I said, we still haven't reached our ceiling. We haven't come close to playing our best basketball. And for the most part, it's been somebody different every night. But we need 2 or 3 or 4 guys to show up every night and play well, and other guys play complementary basketball. If you're not making shots, do something else to help us win. And we got a lot of guys playing in different roles and experiences. You know, Kevin and DP and KD kind of know their roles, and the other guys, this is the first time Noah's really played college basketball. You know, this is the first time that Amir has played college basketball. This is the first time RJ's played Division II basketball. He's a JUCO player. So the guys are starting to come together, and I like our connectivity on both ends of the floor the last couple of weeks, and I'm excited to see what we can do today.
One of the things that I did not realize in the last ball game that you brought to our attention in the postgame show, they had a couple of players that could not dress because they hadn't had a flu. How are we health-wise with the players that didn't dress in the last ball game?
Well, they're back, but they haven't been with us in over a week because of the flu. So they had symptoms leading up to yesterday, and we don't feel like they're contagious anymore, so we kept them away. So I don't foresee them really helping us as much. If we rely on them, we're going to be in big trouble tonight because they haven't touched the basketball in a week. But they're out here, they were at film today, they did shoot around, and they're excited to go, and you never know.
We're playing here on this Monday here in Tuskegee. A lot of other athletic events scheduled for this day on Monday, but nothing probably more important than recognition of the birth of Dr. Martin Luther King. Your thoughts about him and what that really means just overall to us as a culture?
Well, me personally, and I'm sure for you, I was blessed to be born in the Dr. King era in which I saw everything he tried to do for his country and for his community. And he was a great individual, and it's only right that we have a day honoring him. But I was fortunate enough to grow up and see everything that he tried to do to make this a better place. And I've always been a fan of his, and I'm excited that we can play him MLK Day against Kentucky State. And I actually had to sit down with my guys and talk to them about, they don't know Martin Luther King. Yeah, so we always, as a staff here and as a athletic department, we try to educate our guys on more than just playing basketball. And we had some very serious and candid talks about Martin Luther King and the importance of his legacy and how we have to win on his day.
There you go. I mean, you get into athletics, and sometimes you take a contribution like that, man, for granted, and you just let it lose it as a part of history. So kudos to you and the athletics department for keeping that legacy alive for generation after generation. And for your Golden Tigers this afternoon, we're going to try to go against the team and get come back with a back-to-back win. It'll be up against the Thorobreds of Kentucky State, a contender in the West that kind of stands in the way of the Golden Tigers right now.
We talked about the standings a little bit yesterday, so everybody knows where we are, and it's funny, I'm looking over across the court at A.D. Ruffin. A.D. Ruffin called me about 6 weeks ago and said, hey man, why we playing at 7 o'clock on MLK Day? It ain't no school. I said, Coach, I got so much going on. I had to even look that far ahead.
Gotcha.
Man, we got to get that changed, man. I said, so he's very observant like that, and we switched the game, of course. I probably would have caught it 2 weeks before, and it'd been too late. So we're glad it worked out, and Kentucky State was able to accommodate the change, just like they were gracious enough to accommodate our change. Sure. We're supposed to play them when we go play in California versus Morehouse, so they switched the game to December 4th, and we were glad Coach Jackson was able to work that out so we can play earlier than we were supposed to. It's one thing about our league. We do a good job of working together to make sure it's right for everyone.
Absolutely right. That is that community and that harmony amongst the coaches and the administrators is just phenomenal. You'll only see that in the SIAC. Coach, best of luck against the Thorobreds this afternoon. We're going to see you after the win later today.
Yeah, I've coached at some leagues. Hey, I don't care what you got going on. You need to show up on this date and this time.
This time, and that's it, right? Well, that's not a part of the spirit here.
No.
It's about harmony. Yeah. We'll take a break here. Basketball still ahead on GTSN.
Careers are one of the fastest growing fields, yet women of color comprise less than 10% of the workforce within these high-paying jobs. Tuskegee University is changing this. In 2018, we were awarded a grant from the National Science Foundation to develop computer science career awareness for young African American women. In 2019, we established the Campaign for Leadership and Excellence Scholarship. It provides future female engineers with financial support to pursue their educational goals. Today, Tuskegee continues to educate African American women in STEM fields, empowering them to pursue their chosen careers and providing the foundation they need to transform science, medicine, and technology. If a STEM career is in your future, explore what Tuskegee can offer you.
Hi, I'm Aaron James, head coach at the Tuskegee University. Thank you for listening to the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Go TU.
And we're back live inside Chappie James Arena at the intermission. It's Tuskegee trailing, although our score is showing it a different way. Tuskegee trails at this point 28-27 to the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State.
One thing we do know, it's a close game.
Yeah, that's one thing for sure.
It's interesting. Coming off the game against Central State, Tuskegee has maintained the defensive effort. They just haven't been able to get their offense untracked.
They trail it 28-27. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this first half of play. Golden Tigers hosting the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. For Kentucky State early on, for the Golden Tigers early on, Brittany Boland had the range from behind the arc. She hit her first three-point shot. Then it went down low. Jasmine Manuel, she went to work at the block. Got a neat work there at the right sideline, and Alabama power points in the paint there. Then got a jumper in the left corner to add to her totals in that first half. And Boland, this time a little bit shorter, inside of the three-point range, and got a jumper right side. And Samaya Mackin with good anticipation on the defensive end, turned it into a basket on a Wind Creek Casino Montgomery fast break layup for Tuskegee. And down back at the block, Jasmine once again going to work. Got to work at that right cylinder, seems to be her favorite side of the floor, and that enabled her to keep the Golden Tigers within striking distance against the Thoroughbreds.
Now, I don't mean to be hypercritical against the Tuskegee offense, because we saw what they did in the first half. The challenge is, how can they match what they did against Central State? But they really had an excellent shooting afternoon. They seemed to have enough open looks. They simply didn't convert in the first half. They did an excellent job, did turn the ball over a lot. Looking at some of the stats, again, 32% against only 33% from Kentucky State. The assist is key. 8 assists for Tuskegee, only 5 for Kentucky State.
Yeah, you take at those numbers from the field goal percentages, though. Each team with 11 made field goals in that first half of play. That really bodes well to your point that you're talking about, that Tuskegee right now not shooting the basketball as good as, or as well as they would like to, and to still be in it only a point down, and to have matched the Thoroughbreds in terms of the total number of field goals, can only go up second half.
And give credit to the Tuskegee offense, doing an excellent job of working against the double team that Kentucky State's trying to bring. They're bringing pressure in the half court, and Tuskegee's doing an excellent job of passing over it.
For the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State, they've gotten punched from the people that we talked about. You talked about the factor of Niles coming off of that bench for them, and she's done a good job for them settling in to kind of lead them into scoring in that first half to really give them that 1-point lead.
Niles out of Snellville, Georgia. Really an excellent ball handler, a very quick player. Watching her skill set in pregame, just a rare player that has excellent footwork.
We'll see how things get set up for second half play here. Tuskegee trailing by a point. First meeting between these squads this year. Talking to Coach Taylor, the men had already played Kentucky State earlier in the year up at Kentucky State, but the women in the early half of the season, they have those split schedules. This is the first meeting between these two squads. And these two squads, and remember, as we get to this stage of the season, we're in January now, mid-January, and it ends at the end of February. The way things are set up in the SIAC this year, it's the top 4 from each region or each division hosting the first round of tournament play. So for Kentucky State and for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee on the women's side, they're both up there in the top 4. They are likely trying to hold on to that position so they can at least host the first round before all the teams come together for the tournament.
And we talked about the idea of Tuskegee's women's team finding its groove over the last 3 games, getting some players integrated into the rotations, playing well together. They're really trying to build on this cohesion that they've found over the last few games.
Brittany Boland with 8 points in that first half to lead the Golden Tigers in scoring. Signed Holmes with a field goal, Mackin with a field goal, Alani Cantone with 4. Brianna Glaze coming off the bench, she had 2. And Jasmine Manuel, she finished leading all scorers for Tuskegee with 9 in that first half. For Kentucky State, they were led in scoring by Niles with the 7 points. They got 6 from Bryant and 5 from Naja Finland for them in that first 20 minutes of play.
You talk about the impatience of youth. Kentucky State only 2 of 11 from 3-point range. Tuskegee, not much better. 2 of 10 from 3-point range. If there's any adjustment I'm sure that Tuskegee talked about at halftime. Let's run our offense. Let's put aside the three-point shots for a minute, get a little bit closer to the rack, get better looks.
Golden Tigers of Tuskegee only shot 25% from behind the arc in the win over Central State, 6 of 20. So it's not something, as you referenced, that they have to have in their arsenal. They can win with better field shooting at other spots on the floor. Set for second half action now. Charles Ward, Mark Lassiter here on GTSN. Glad you could join us. Thanks to our production crew here on a Monday evening. First of our doubleheader action, men to follow. Basketball will belong to the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State to start the second half of play.
On this January 20th, there's no place I'd rather be than inside Chappie James.
Nice call. It'll be Finland to inbound it just in front of us to get things started. They're trying to push it inside play. They're rushing it right inside. They got it to Adair Myers to get things started. Isom handles on a weave now. Niles with the basketball. She'll slide out front, got some space. Shannon steps back with a jumper, missed on the shot. And a rebound there on the inside. I'm not sure how in the world Adair Myers came away with that basketball. There were 3 Golden Tigers standing right under the cylinder.
Good timing. She timed her jump perfectly in traffic. Got the ball at its peak, got the rebound. Great play.
They'll turn it over nonetheless, so Tuskegee will have the basketball now. Hughley with it in the corner. And across the floor, Cantone, she's free, fires a 3. Halani knocks down her first point in the second half of the ball game with a 3-pointer.
We talked about Tuskegee trying to get closer. Cantone was hearing nothing of it. Got a first 3 shot.
Tuskegee with a 30-28 lead now. They turn it over. Good defensive work by Cyan Holmes. 3-on-1. Bounce pass left side. Back into the glass. And Samaya finishes for Tuskegee.
Once again, Golden Tiger defense leading to the break on offense.
32-28. Tuskegee with a good start in the third period. 8:57 remains in it. Shannon Niles works it over to Adair Mars. Mars, Isom, bounce pass in traffic. It's kicked. And it will stay with Kentucky State.
Cyan Holmes doing an excellent job inside, getting a body on Kalia Bryant, who's trying to carve out space in the low block.
Adair Mars takes a seat. Take a look at the last play of action on that half-court set. Back and on the transition basket for Tuskegee. And a whistle on the inside here. They call the foul on Cyan Holmes, so Cyan picks up her first.
Cyan Holmes had a bit of a conversation with the officials as he walked by, just saying, okay, you sure that was me on that call? Very subtle way of engaging the referees, not trying to show them up, but questioning their professionalism.
Yeah, slight, small ask, yes.
Very poised response.
Bryant from the line got that first free throw. That'll make it 32-29. Tuskegee with the lead. And Bryant did both from the line. Tuskegee up by field goal. Now full court pressure by the Thoroughbreds. Hughley with it across the floor for TU. LaDeja, right side all the way through. Leaves behind, back out front, Cantone. Now she'll push left side over to across the floor to Cyan, and Cyan can't convert.
Excellent pass inside off the double team pressure. Holmes just not able to convert.
Yeah, almost like she wasn't ready for that. That was a great setup by Cantone on the inside.
When she made the pass, made the catch, seemed to catch her in the chest a bit, caught her off guard, as you mentioned.
Boland to inbound it to Cantone. Halani to the glass, tried to bank it, and a whistle inside. She was fouled, and she'll be at the line shooting.
Cantone went strong to the rack that time in traffic against Kentucky State. Goes to the free throw line.
They'll get Hayes on the foul for the Thoroughbreds. As you take a look at that, Cantone on the inside. Good body control there, body contact there. That'll send her to the line to shoot. And Halani got the first free throw. Cantone, grad student from Apopka, Florida. into the Tuskegee program. As that shot down in the center pops out from Kentucky State. Fenelon across the timeline. Now Bryant handles. Well, Shannon Niles just in front of the Kentucky State bench. Lead behind the arc is Hayes. They throw it away over to Cyan Holmes. Holmes up the floor to LaDeja. LaDeja all the way right side to the glass. Missed on the shot. Samaya to the rack. Got the rebound and the lay in left side.
Strong rebound up. Back with it with the left hand.
Alabama power points in the paint there by Samaya Mackin for Tuskegee. They lead by 5, 35-30. Niles behind the arc. Down at the block to go to Bryant. Bryant on Holmes just bullying her way inside the rack and a whistle.
The matchup between the two 22s, Hayes and Macklin, is a thing of beauty. They're just pounding each other inside the paint, trying to carve out space.
Holmes that time trying to defend on the inside, and that was not such a thing of beauty there. Not sure if we have a replay of that, but she just gave up so much in terms of weight there. She was just being floated back like a feather as Bryant was working her way toward the cylinder. And there you see Jasmine Manuel on cue coming into the Tuskegee lineup. Cyan at 6'1". Transferred in from Mississippi Valley State University, but not a lot of weight in terms of that body frame.
Bit of a chess match going on between the two coaches, matching size with size.
Bryant missed on that first free throw. Right now she's got 8 points in the ball game. 1 of 2 from the free throw line that trip. 35-31 Tuskegee leads. They have the basketball. Boland with it up top to Cantone. Halani on the move. In the corner, now up top. Double B will backpedal. 15 to shoot for TU. They're trying to get it to Jasmine at the block. Now they got her set there. Jasmine double pushes back to Halani. 8 to shoot. In the corner, LaDeja fires a 3. Hughley missed on the shot. She was open in the corner. Bryant with the rebound for Kentucky State. Dyson, Niles, they almost throw it away, but Shannon able to hang on to it. Cross dribble by her, now pushes in the corner. They go down the low at the block. Lee missed on that shot down low. LaDeja comes away with it for Tuskegee. She'll pull back and get the offense reset with 6:32 remaining in this third period. Mackin pops out for the basketball. McBroom set to check in next dead ball for Kentucky State. Samaya across the paint, and she lost the basketball.
She also took a shot to her ribs, holding her side that time. She's trying to carve out space, going from right to left.
Turnover will give the basketball back to Kentucky State. And you're right, Samaya trying to cross that lane. Took a shot there. 6:10 left in the third. Pace has slowed just a bit here. Sliding across is Niles and lost her dribble. 12 to shoot. Boland almost took it away. Now they go to the floor and tie up the basketball. Jump ball will keep it with Kentucky State. They'll have 9 to shoot.
Tremendous hustle that time on defense. Going to the floor. LaDeja Hughley diving after that ball and almost getting possession. Watch the defense.
That's getting after it there. Yeah, entry pass, that one taken away by Tuskegee. Good defensive effort there. Hughley with it across the timeline now. Slides it down in the corner, Cantone. Lonnie on the move, like Broom guarding. Inside the paint, Jasmine's trying to run it down in the corner. It'll stay with Tuskegee.
Cantone was trying to reverse position on the floor, just tripped over someone, lost control of the basketball, and Tuskegee forced it to maintain possession on what was kind of a crazy sequence.
Brittany Boland will unbound in the corner for Tuskegee. 5:45 remains in the third. TU with a 35-31 lead. Out front, Cantone with the basketball. Fenelon picks her up out front. On the screen, Fenelon took it away. Basketball in the backcourt. Now she'll come across the timeline with it, able to handle it and keep it under control. Fires a three-pointer air ball. That one hit the side of the rim. Rebound controlled by Bobbitt, but Bobbitt had it taken away by McBroom. And then on the inside, Bryant gets fouled by Bobbitt. So Sine Bobbitt had the rebound, just did not protect the basketball. And McBroom came in to sweep it away from her. Got it to Bryant. Bryant's fouled by Bobbitt. She's at the line to shoot.
A lot more contact in this half of play compared with the first half. These players are going after every loose ball with passion.
Bryant got that first free throw. .5:18 left in the third. She's true on both. It cuts the Tuskegee lead to 2. Cantone, half-court set now for Tuskegee. Now Boland, right side. Bobbitt in the corner for 3. That one down the cylinder and popped out. Breland leads with a run out. Tried to dump it back inside to McBroom and threw it away. Cantone took it away for Tuskegee. So she's tied up. And Coach Wester got a timeout there before jump ball call.
A little bit of bumping going on after that last exchange.
Alani Cantone coming through that Kentucky State sideline. And a little bit of bumping there to say, hey, you're not in this huddle anymore.
Well, Cantone had both hands up. It's like, okay, if you want to bump me, I'm just going to surrender and let you bump. I'm going to bump you back.
4:47 in the Maine's third period. Tuskegee leads 35-33. Let's take a break here at GTSN.
Yep, you need to go ice back on. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15.
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Back live here inside Chappie James. Tuskegee with a 2-point lead. Golden Tigers at this point 14 of 41 shooting from the floor, 34%. Thoroughbreds 11 of 36 at 31% shooting. From behind the arc, Tuskegee with 3 Vibes restaurant 3-point baskets and 2 3-point baskets for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. From the free throw line, Tuskegee 4 of 60 at 67%, 9 of 10 shooting from the free throw line for the Thoroughbreds. Up to this point in the ball game, rebounding edge belongs to the Thoroughbreds 30-24.
Watch up to match. Bailey Lee, Jasmine Manuel.
And a 10-second violation there by Tuskegee in that backcourt. Remember, that kind of continues once you take a timeout when you're in peril in the backcourt like that. They keep that clock right where it is, and then when you get the basketball, you have the remaining seconds to get it across. And Tuskegee was not able to do so. And the basketball will belong to the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State, who trail by 2.
One of the few times that the defensive pressure in the backcourt has affected the Tuskegee offense with the turnover. Quick timeout. They're going to have to readjust and understand that if they're going to bring the double, somebody's going to have to be open.
Golden Tigers of Tuskegee trying to make it 4 in a row with a win here over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Golden Tigers came into today's play 4th in the East. Thoroughbreds 3rd in the West. Tuskegee 4th in the West. So these teams 3 and 4. And this will be determined whether the position gets flipped here this afternoon in a contest between 3 and 4.
Got a peek inside the Tuskegee huddle. Not a lot of animation in that huddle. Very businesslike. They know what they have to do in terms of their offensive sets. The coach just gathered their teams, trying to get them to calm down before they get back on the court.
Boland and Cantone leading Tuskegee in scoring, each with 8. As McBroom will inbound it just in front of us with 4:11 remaining in the third. They just defend the entry pass. And Kentucky State. And a 5-second violation.
Give credit to the effort by LaDasia Hewley on the inbounds pass. She was bounding and astounding right in front of the passer. Couldn't find anyone open.
Sure. And really wondering, McBroom had Ison right here in the backcourt to her left, wide open, just decided she didn't want to throw it there. So Tuskegee gets it after the turnover on the entry play. In the corner, Alexandria Johnson back out on the floor. Up top now to Bobbitt.
Wide open.
Corner, Hughley. Now Sine for three. Bobbitt got it. Book it for Bobbitt out front.
Turn down a good shot for a better shot.
Indeed. Bobbitt with her first field goal of the ball game. It's a trademark three-pointer for her. She leads the team from behind the arc shooting. On the move now, stumbling with the basketball. Basketball turned over to Tuskegee. Williams stumbled with it. Foul on extended. Cantone, oh yeah.
You knew she was going to take that after that last exchange on in front of the Kentucky State bench. Very calm, composed, raises for the shot, makes it.
She's got 10 in the ball game. Tuskegee takes his lead to 7, 40-33. Bryant fires from out front. That looks hard, and it is. Rebound, Bobbitt. Outlet pass, Cantone. 2-on-2 basketball now. Halani cross dribble all the way through underneath, and she's fouled.
Cantone's eyes got big as she saw space coming from the right side in the open court. She will go to the free throw line. An excellent up-tempo move by one of the leaders of the Tuskegee offense.
3:35 left in the third. Take a look here on the replay. The Wind Creek Casino Montgomery fast break Laker. Instead of the jumper or the layup, it's a jumper there by Cantone, about foul on extended. As you referenced, you could see that coming down the floor. She wanted that one.
She was smooth.
Knocked it down. She's got 10. And at the line here for 2 opportunities for free throws. Alani hit the first. McBroom back out on the floor. Bryant set to come back in next dead ball for Coach Williams and the Thoroughbreds. Alani. Second. Cox Ames fires. Got them both from the line. McBroom back out.
Bit of a debate whether they're going to allow the substitution for Kentucky State, and they will not.
Yep. It's Bryant I was looking for her on the floor, but she's still in the same spot. You're right. Half-court trap for Tuskegee now. They feel comfortable about the pace of this basketball game now, trying to amp it up even a little more. Niles with it out front for Kentucky State. Hayes on the move at the block, lost it momentarily and dribbles it on the inbound line. Turnover gives it back to Tuskegee.
Just a bit out of control. The Tuskegee with excellent defensive positioning, not trying to swipe with their hands, but using their footwork to get between the offensive player and the hoop.
Turnover number 16 for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Sinead inbounded in the backcourt. Full court pressure by Kentucky State. Johnson across the timeline with the basketball. Back up top to Bobbitt. We're at 3:08 remaining in the third.
The key for Tuskegee, make the pass without the dribble.
They go across the floor, Johnson. All the way underneath the defense. They do exactly like your efforts. They don't put a ball on the floor to get it to Johnson. Alexandria finishes from there. Tuskegee up. Largest lead of the ball game for them now, 11 points, 44-33. Whistles half-court set.
Sinead Bobbitt had her hands outstretched for Tuskegee, pleading for some justice for the officials. But give credit to the weak side help of Tuskegee coming from the other side of the floor on defense.
Take a look at that last basket. Alexandria underneath that coverage, sneaked under there and got that lay-in. That was her first field goal of the ball game. And had made it 44-33. Meanwhile, a missed shot by Bryant on the inside. And here comes Boland across the timeline. Out top, Alexandria Johnson with the basketball. Ison guarding her. Bobbitt up top now. We're down to 2:30 left. Down at the block, Jasmine and a whistle there.
Tuskegee has picked up its tempo on offense, Charles. The ball movement a lot better than it was in the first half or even the early part of this quarter.
That's been the major difference. You're absolutely right. They have been more crisp with the passes, and even on that play down low there, good pass from Johnson out at the wing to get it inside to Jasmine. Tuskegee with Boland to inbound it left of the cylinder. Cantone sidesteps the defense, floater to the glass, and she finishes.
Cantone from right to left hung just an extra split second to make the layup.
2:14 left in the third now. Cantone with 14 in the ball game. Half-court set down at the block. That one's missed by Hayes. Rebound tied up on the inside. Alexandria Johnson.
It was the presence of Jasmine Manuel for Tuskegee standing in the paint with her hands up that made the player for Kentucky State think about it twice before she went back up with it.
Basketball to the Golden Tigers as Williams was tied up and the arrow gave it to Tuskegee. Bobbitt with it in the backcourt. Full court pressure by Kentucky State. Williams up the floor just turns and throws it right into the Thoroughbred duo. And they come back the other way and they'll tap it out of bounds. Tuskegee will stay with Kentucky State.
Like the recovery by Alexandria Johnson of Tuskegee. Got her hand up. That pass inside intended for Kentucky State to lead to a layup.
Isom back out on the floor. She'll replace McBroom in their lineup. We're at a minute 50 remaining. Third period of play. Zone defense. Three-point shot there out front. That one's off by Hayes. Cantone half-court set now. Bounce pass up top to Jasmine. A minute 30 left. Third period, Cantone puts it on the floor. On the weave, Johnson to the glass. Spinner is off the mark. Jasmine got the rebound. Her spinner does the same as Johnson, spins off the rack. Kentucky State tried one on the inside and missed. Now outside, Isom shoots an air ball.
And that gets a rise from the crowd here at Chappie James Arena. Tuskegee playing vicious defense against this Kentucky State team trying to go up tempo against it. 13-point lead, a very strong second part of this third quarter.
62 seconds remains in it. Tuskegee with the basketball, facing full court pressure. Bounce pass up the floor. Cantone left side. She's got space. Jumper there. Cantone can't convert. Hughley gives chase. She'll run it down. Tuskegee will have a fresh 20. Cantone. Hughley behind the arc for three. LaDeja missed. Bobbitt got the rebound. Missed on the putback. Jasmine's putback is good.
Offensive rebounding for Tuskegee. Not once, not twice, three times. A lady.
Jasmine with 11 now after that work on the inside. 18 seconds left in the third. Tuskegee's best quarter so far in the basketball game. They lead at 48-33. Fenelon on the move. Hughley diving in there. Look at that defensive effort there. Basketball to Tuskegee. Cantone at the buzzer. And how about LaDeja Hughley?
The effort by Hughley gets a huge response from the crowd here in Chappie James, closing out the third quarter. She just goes to the floor, continuing to pass in front of everyone on the near sideline. Watch the defensive effort. Gets between our man and the ball, goes to the floor, causes the turnover.
Tuskegee with a great effort there. They'll lead it at the end of 3, 48-33. We'll take a timeout here on GTSN.
Hey, future business leader. Launch your success at one of the nation's premier HBCUs. Learn cutting-edge practices and feed your entrepreneurial spirit. Tuskegee University. We get the business of business education.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
I'm Rolandus Rice, Chief Operating Officer and the Vice President for Student Affairs at Tuskegee University, and this is the Golden Tigers.
Back live as we get set to start the fourth quarter of play. Tuskegee leads at 48-33. Thoroughbreds will have the basketball to get us started in the final 10 minutes of play.
2 words for Tuskegee: maintain the defensive effort. Second, take care of the basketball on offense.
Niles with it offensively for Kentucky State. Gives it over to Witherspoon. Now they run a weave out front. And Williams and a whistle on her penetration. Hughley may have gotten too close defensively.
That was very close to a carry also. And she's taking the ball up off the last step. Seemed to carry it to her hip. Just a split second too long.
Official may have deemed that he saw that contact before that call, because you're right, it was pretty obvious that she had that ball on the hip carrying it.
We may have had a better angle on it than the officials had.
Fresh 20 on the clock for the Thoroughbreds now after this foul against Hughley. On the penetration, right side all the way through it, leaving it on the rack was Hayes, but a follow-up on the inside by Williams to get the field goal.
Backcourt pressure, three players back.
And Tuskegee will throw the basketball out of bounds.
One of the few times that Tuskegee succumbed to pressure, the difference being Kentucky State brought 3 players into the backcourt instead of 2.
That'll give them the basketball. Half-court set. Tuskegee with a 48-35 lead. Inbound play out front to Rihanna Williams. She'll slide just in front of the Kentucky bench at the far side of the floor. A timeout taken by the Thoroughbreds.
Head coach Amani Williams pleading with her guards as they come to the sideline for Kentucky State.
Yeah, I did not like what she saw there at the start of that play after they had it in that half-court set. Also realizing how important each trip is down the floor for them to make sure that they get as much as they can each trip down. Tuskegee with the 48-35 lead. Men's basketball to follow here on the GTSN. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee will be meeting the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Golden Tigers coming into that ballgame 7-8, 5-4. They are currently 3rd in the West. Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State 9-8 overall and 6-6. They are 2nd in the West. So it's so odd that the programs are just so close. For the men, it's 2-3, and for the women, it's 3-4. Chance to topple the Thoroughbreds in each category.
Not only are the programs close, but the rosters are almost mirror images of one another. Both teams feature very quick and gifted guards. They also can go big at the same time with players that are not only bringing height, but bulk as well. So the chess match between the two coaches is how they want to play these matchups going into the last 9 minutes of play.
Play set to resume now. Far side of the floor, Thoroughbreds took the timeout. Hayes will inbound it for them just in front of their bench. Out front, McBroom with the basketball. Left side on the move. Williams to the rack, missed on the shot. Samaya Mackin out on the floor. She got the rebound for Tuskegee.
Strong rebound, covered up with 2 hands.
Hughley left side. McBroom flew by, almost had a pick there. Instead, it's Hughley out front now with 8:50 left. LaDeja lead behind, left side. Shot missed there by Holmes. Got her own rebound inside the paint and a whistle after the play on the inside.
The intelligent thing that Sadeja did on that last exchange, she saw the opening, reset, came to the other side of the court, found the open person cutting, just simply wasn't able to make the layup. But that's the type of guard leadership you need when a player can adjust on the fly and make the smart play.
Cyan at the line to shoot here. She'll be shooting 2. That was second personal on Hayes for the Thoroughbreds.
Sometimes players have a tendency to see that space and get a little bit greedy. It's like it's not going to stay there. But she did an excellent job of seeing the space changing and adapting to it.
Got the pass over to Cyan. Cyan with the first free throw. This game just moves so quickly. Your decisions have to be just so spot on, so instantaneous. Holmes got them both there.
The best players can anticipate where the movement's going to be, not where the movement is.
Anticipated or created. But Broom with a jumper, missed there. Jasmine got a rebound on the inside for Tuskegee. Sometimes a subtle head fake in terms of a pass will create the dynamic that you want on the floor as well. Deja Hughley, right side now, in the corner, lost the basketball. Thoroughbreds come away with it. McBroom, bounce pass in traffic, dangerous pass developing by her there. You can see that all the way. They'll be lucky to keep this basketball.
One thing I like about Jasmine Manuel's game, she hustled to get back on defense. Was in the offensive set on the previous play, deep in the post, and had enough energy to get back up the court to get back on defense.
It'll stay with the Thoroughbreds with 8:12 remaining. Tuskegee with a 50-35 lead. TU's largest lead of the ball game. Niles with it out front for Kentucky State.
Niles on Hughley. It's a great matchup.
Williams with it now. Hop step and a travel violation by her.
LaDeja Hughley just seems to get in the way of trouble. If she's on defense, you don't know where she's going to come from in terms of her angles of defense.
Yeah, she's just so quick. And she can sometimes hide in terms of the weeds of players around her, just kind of pop out of nowhere. 7:45 remaining in the basketball game. Captain Brittany Boland handling the basketball. Bounce pass in the corner to Hughley. Bounce pass inside, tried to get it inside to Cyan. It was tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with Tuskegee. They'll have 13 to shoot.
Jasmine Manuel will be wise to set the pick and roll to the hoop. That last time down the court, she set the pick and just stayed stationary. All she has to do is set it and turn.
Williams off the floor for Coach Williams and the Thoroughbreds. She's replaced by Bailey Lee in the lineup. Cantone handles out front for Tuskegee. 10 to shoot now after the entry pass.
Manuel in the post.
Jasmine, bounce pass at the block to Holmes. And back the other way.
Pass just a little bit strong inside, but had the right idea.
Miss Q gives it back to Kentucky State with 7:25 remaining. Niles with it out front, bounced it. She lost it momentarily, and there's Hughley diving right on it. They'll go to the arrow.
She got a little too cute with it, trying to go between her legs. The ball hit off her heel of her sneaker, and Tuskegee takes over.
And as soon as LaDeja saw that, she was all on it, jumped right on the basketball.
Tuskegee plays defense like a pack of piranha. They see that loose ball and they're got it.
Hughley in the corner to Holmes. Up top to Boland. Double B, foul line extended jumper. Good for her. Rolled forward, got it to fall. Boland with 8. Half court set now for the Thoroughbreds. Tuskegee's dropped into a zone defense. Niles behind the arc, pushes back out front to Bryant. Bryant on the move right side, and Boland almost took that one on a steal.
Great active hands. If Tuskegee's defense has one characteristic, they have their hands up constantly, and they're getting a lot of deflections.
12 seconds remains. Shooting clock, that is, for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. As Niles inbounds it out front to Isom. 4 to shoot. They push it down in the corner, and they won't get it off. Wow. On a timeout there with the basketball inbound. You still don't get that shot off.
Can you say defense? Once again, Tuskegee moving the feet, getting it away.
Hughley across the timeline, left side for Kentucky, for the Golden Tigers. Up top, Boland. Boland back to Cyan. Cyan with a jumper, got it to fall.
Hughley saw the double coming. She simply sprinted past it with the ball in hand. Say, okay, you want to double me? Goodbye.
Sure. I'll slide right past that. 54-35. And a timeout taken by Coach Williams and the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Tuskegee leading at a 54-35, and the momentum and the strategy has prevailed for the Golden Tigers. They have really taken control of this basketball game.
Job well done by the backcourt of Tuskegee. That last timeout as Hewley turned to her teammates and dapped up everyone as they were going to the bench. They knew they had accomplished what they wanted on defense first, going out to this, what could be a 19-point lead.
It is. Largest lead of the ball game for the Golden Tigers. Right now, the Thoroughbreds 12 of 47 shooting from the floor at just 26%. And a lot of that, as you referenced, Mark, is the defensive work of the Golden Tigers, why that number is so low for Kentucky State. Meanwhile, the Golden Tigers at 21 of 54 shooting from the floor at 39%. 4 of 15 from behind the arc.
The other beauty about what Tuskegee's been able to accomplish, they've given 10 players minutes in this game, so they're keeping fresh bodies in, and that leads to the defensive effort.
Bench points, to your point, Tuskegee with 18 from the bench. Reference the flow and the lineup of different players. Right side on the penetration, that shot is off of the cylinder, it'll belong over to Tuskegee. Contact down at the block, but no call. Tuskegee with 11 steals in this ball game. They come back the other way. Cantone right side to the glass, banked it there, and missed on a shot. Half court set now for Kentucky State. Jumper out front, three-point shot. That one's on the money by Aaliyah Hayes. Hughley tried to leave it behind and bounced it, and it'll come clear. Jasmine able to keep it, but she was hit in the lower body. It's favoring her right leg. But Tuskegee with the basketball. 5:23 remains. Boland behind the arc for three. Double B front of the iron. They fight for it. Hughley got it. Over to Jasmine. Right side underneath the defense. Her spinner is off the mark. 54-38, 5:08 remaining. Niles jumper, hers is off the mark, and Holmes clears another rebound for Tuskegee.
Jasmine Manuel's laboring out there right now. They're going to have to get someone in the game for her.
Players tumble near the scorer's table on the far side of the floor.
Foul number 23,
Call that foul against Bailey Ford against the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State.
Manuel goes to the bench. She's replaced by Bobbitt. Excellent effort, but you could tell she was running out of gas on that last time down the court.
Yeah, she took a shot, I believe it was in her left thigh as well. But she's winded at the end of the bench. Well-deserved break for her. Boland with it across the timeline for Kentucky, for the Golden Tigers. Gives it to Cantone left side. Cantone will put on the glass and bank the shot left side. Good.
Beautiful shot by Cantone that she just pulls up with the step about 12 feet out.
Oh, that's practice every day there. Nice and easy by her. Whistles on the inside. Cantone trying to fight for position on Bryant and commits the foul.
Cantone got pinned down low in the post. She shrugs her shoulders. Is like, what else do you want me to do? I had what I wanted, but she's just a little bit too big for me inside.
That's all. only thing she can offer up, right?
You know, when you're the barbecue chicken, that's all you can do is smile.
You know the end is near. Bryant converts on the inside.
Watch your back, watch your back, watch your back.
Cantone will work this inside and outside the paint with 4:23 left. Down at the block, Holmes. Back up top to Johnson. Tuskegee by 16. Johnson had a tap, and the Thoroughbreds take it away. 2:02. Fenelon to the glass right side, and Johnson commits the foul. So Fenelon to the line to shoot.
Fenelon, a one-woman fast break, got in the open court, had a look, but just a little bit too strong off the glass.
4:07 left. Tuskegee led by as many as 19. Be interesting to see at what point does Coach Wester decide that the win is at hand and she puts some reserve players in there.
I'm going to predict the 3-minute mark.
I think that's pretty safe. We saw that in the Central State ball game, and at about that mark is when she made the decision, let's just go ahead and close it out. And you know, for a couple of reasons. One, you're comfortable at where you are in terms of your lead, but you know that this is valuable for the players you're trying to get in there for the give them game experience.
The thing I love about the Tuskegee bench, no matter who is on the court, the players on the sideline are always supportive and loud.
Another basketball taken away. Tuskegee getting a little bit sloppy here at this point of the ball game. Fiddler down at the block. She's not able to finish. And then Cantone with it in the corner. She's doubled there, but a whistle. Trinity Layton coming off of the Tuskegee bench. We may be seeing the early throws of this now with Trinity in her first spot of duty in the ball game. Cyan Holmes takes the seat. Tuskegee, after today's ball game, idle until the weekend. Boy, oh boy, when they get ready to amp it up again on Saturday, it'll be in the throes of that Fairfield Knox Gymnasium at Miles College as Bobbitt ties it up.
You can't go to the air and make the pass indecisively. Tuskegee gets caught going up, not knowing where they want to go with the basketball, landing awkwardly two players. It appears that the arrow will go to Kentucky State.
Aaliyah Hayes tying up Bobbitt there near the mid-stripe as you referenced. And the Thoroughbreds working hard to try to get back into this basketball game. Tuskegee with a 56-41 lead. McBroom with it out front now. 3:40 remains. She'll push it down in the corner. Up top, Johnson trying to get the steal. Breland there. Pushes across the floor, three-point effort. That one hit the back of the iron by Hayes. They'll get a fresh 20 though. Isom on the move. Head fake, whistle, and they'll get her for a travel on the inside.
She was going faster than her feet could catch up. Trying to stop, and that extra step got her in trouble.
Sure. That created the turnover. Tuskegee with the basketball.
That's when you need to check those brake linings.
Tuskegee will have it in the backcourt. Turnover number 22 for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State.
Again, Kentucky State with three players backcourt defending.
Layton with it in the backcourt. Over to Cantone. Now Boland with it. 3:10 left.
Tuskegee can just run clock patiently, look for a good shot.
Up top, Bobbitt, she's got a good look. Missed on the shot. That one's easy for her. And Layton guilty of the foul in the backcourt. So Trinity picks up her first. Looking over there at that sideline, Malaysia Williams and Monty Williams. Only two that have not played in this ball game so far.
Alexandria Johnson turned to her teammate and just said, slow it down, be patient, no need to rush the shot.
Fenelon across the timeline now for the Thoroughbreds. 2:50 remains. McBroom on the move, lead behind out front. Hayes with a three-point shot. That rimmers off the mark. Bobbitt got the rebound, but was tapped around, almost cleared. And now Cantone clears it for Tuskegee.
Quick hands by Cantone.
Johnson out front to Boland. Brittany on the move, right side underneath the defense. Wouldn't spin all the way toward the cylinder to fall good, but she was fouled, so Double B would be at the line shooting for Tuskegee.
Saw space and tried to go with the scoop shot inside. Just caught a little bit of the underside of the rim. But as it stands, Tuskegee goes to the free throw line.
Bailey Ford set to come back out on the floor for the Thoroughbreds.
As Tuskegee did against Central State, Charles, they have really taken over this second half. They have led for the majority of this entire period in the fourth and led by at least 15 points.
Yeah, did a good job of climbing back into it, trailing at the intermission by just a point, but jumped out early at the beginning of the third, took a lead, and as you referenced, Mark, they didn't look back since then, led by as many as 19 in this second half. Boland to shoot, second. Got that with a fall. So Boland departs after that free throw. And Brittany going to finish with 10 points in the ball game for Tuskegee if she doesn't back out onto the floor. Shannon Niles with it. Lost her dribble. Federland handles. 2:04 left. They dump it down low in traffic. Bryant doubled there, got it back to the center and worked her way in and forced a layup right side. Good work by her. Johnson to Hughley. Hughley across the timeline. Leighton in the corner for three. Trinity knocks down a three-pointer in the corner.
Nothing like coming off the pine, getting a three and getting the smile back up court.
Leighton, like we referenced in the ball game, her time on the floor has been limited. Good to see her getting into the scoring fray for Tuskegee. A minute 26 left. Tuskegee with a 60-43 lead. Let's take a look at the native from Miami do some work here on the defensive end. Down in the corner.
Sets her feet with a high arcing jumper. Got a nice chest bump from Bowling. And Hilani Cantone coming back up court to the bench.
Nice job by Tuskegee to push that basketball in the corner to get her, Trinity, her first field goal on the ball game. So the Golden Tigers appear to be headed to 9-8 on the season and 6-4 in the SIAC. And they got past the stumbling block this afternoon in the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. They will go to 5-12 and 4-7.
Nice look at Jelani Cantone. Big smile on her face.
Sure.
Beating her former team.
You know she's got to have that inner glow and feeling about that. Knowing it coming well into this ball game, that this is going to be the first time she met her former teammates. After the timeout, Thoroughbreds will inbound it. Shannon with it. Niles in the corner. Niles with the shot. Missed on that one. The rebound fought for. And a foul on the inside. They'll call that foul on in Alexandria Johnson. And here comes Amani Williams out on the floor now. She'll replace Hilani Cantone. Cantone come away the leading scorer against her former teammates. 16 in the ball game for Cantone.
And that completes the lineup. Everyone on the Tuskegee roster has got some minutes.
Got Malaysia Williams sitting right next to grad student Nadia Thurman-McKee. Malaysia, not the last one to not have played. We'll see if they can get her in here before this final minute 19 left.
Is she in black?
Nadia Thurman-McKee there, the grad student in the red blouse, and then the player next to her.
Okay.
Is Malaysia. Inbound play. Leighton with it. Up the floor. Amani Williams dumps it to Johnson. She'll work inside the paint and back out front. Malaysia, the redshirt freshman from California. As Johnson takes a hard tumble left side.
Shannon Niles may have stuck out that foot just a little bit too much. She gets caught for the tripping call.
It was Niles. That was her second. Alexandria to the line to shoot for Tuskegee. Alexandria just 2 points. Now 3 for Tuskegee in this ball game.
The officials calling a very close ball game in terms of the uniforms. They've reminded of hoop players whose jerseys have come outside of their shorts to tuck those jerseys back inside. You want to play on my court, you're going to dress right.
And now Malaysia Williams is the final Golden Tiger to get into this lineup with a minute left. So everybody on the roster have a chance to play this afternoon for Coach Wester and the Golden Tigers. Whistles on a penetration right side. Trinity Leighton will be guilty of that foul for Tuskegee.
When you think of the sacrifice that these players make to play at this level, the fact that they come out 2.5 hours before the game to warm up, it's got to be a rewarding feeling for everyone to get some burn.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, and that's just only part of the sacrifice. Is a couple of hours before the game. Think about all week long, all season long. That drag can go on, and you count in preseason prior to that.
Well, all of that, and you still have to pull grades.
Sure, that's right.
These are student athletes. These are not pros. So whatever the responsibility that they have for their team in terms of time, they've got to compensate with hitting the books when they're not on the court.
Nice call. That's what it's about and has been about. Entry pass, Hughley. Just 49 seconds left. Up the floor, Williams can't run down that pass from Layton in the backcourt. Golden Tigers back in action next weekend in Fairfield, Alabama against the Lady Bears of Miles College. We'll have that coverage for you on GTSN. Jumper inside the paint, Outland's off the mark, rebound to Trinity Layton for Tuskegee. Over to Amani Williams. And Amani doubled in the backcourt, over to Trinity, now to Hughley. Right side of Amani, entry pass into Jara Jane. Jara tied up and lost it on the inside. And then Broom. Euro step in the paint. She got a lay-in for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. 6 seconds left. Tuskegee winners this afternoon. They'll win it 62-47 against the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. They will extend their win mark to 4 ball games in a row, dating back to the win against Lemoyne Owen. And they defeat the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State this afternoon 62-47. And a win for the Golden Tigers. That first half that was marred by not as good a performance as they wanted from the floor, but in that third period, after the timeout, turned things up and kept turned up from there.
Very convincing win for the Lady Golden Tigers, as we're celebrating at half court. Their third in a row. Was that fourth in a row?
That was fourth in a row.
Fourth in a row. Give credit to the team, though. The effort on defense, contending every loose ball with passion, the key to this ball game.
Indeed, as they celebrated there at the middle of that celebration was Helani Cantone, and rightfully so. That team aware of the fact that she's now a Golden Tiger, came from that Kentucky State program. And that basketball game this afternoon was a collective effort by them to say, hey, welcome to Tuskegee. So the Golden Tigers win at 62-47, and it was really a nice distribution to see that. And we talked about this in the Central State ball game, and it was more their defense that ignited the offense for Tuskegee.
Imagine if Tuskegee can develop the patience to not rely on the three-point shot, get a little bit closer to the inside the arc, and run their offense. This is really going to be a tough team to contend with in the month of February and March.
Indeed, you're right. They're starting to really come together with a lot of different points. Remember that Coach Wester really had to rebuild this program from a year ago, and she only took it over with some reserves from the year prior to that, and she wanted to put her stamp on this program. So she had to go out and do some recruiting in the offseason. You take a look at that roster, you'll see a lot of players on this roster that have some season play behind them, and it's all kind of starting to come together now for Tuskegee.
So as we saw on Saturday against Central State, does this mean the women have set the table for the men in part 2?
Well, we saw, as you referenced on Saturday, we'll see. It really kind of mirrors it, because it was 3 against 4 with the women, and now it's 2 against 3 with the men. So the challenge is going to be just as big for the men for Tuskegee to see if they can't beat a number 2 team and perhaps vault ahead of them in the standings overall. Golden Tigers win it 62-47 over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. So a win for Coach Deontay Wester and the Golden Tigers. Will turn our attention to men's basketball after this break on GTSN.
To protect you and your family from disease. Many children and adults that delayed vaccination during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It is crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Tuskegee fans, let's all do our part to get back on track. Protect yourself and others by making sure you are up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Hi, Tuskegee fans. I'm Coach Chad Hall, your head baseball coach. Thank you for listening to the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Go TU.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
And we're back live here inside Chappie James at the Postgame in the Alabama Department of Public Health Postgame show. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee on the women's side, they win it 62-47 over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State in the ball game that the Golden Tigers really took control of starting in that third quarter. As we take a look at some of the highlights from the Golden Tigers in this contest and their win over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State in the ball game that was led from their defensive side that really spilled over into the offense of Tuskegee. Starting early on in this basketball game, you see Andrea, the jump there in the corner by Jasmine Manuel after the pass from Alexandria Johnson. Now Samaya Mackin working down at the block, and a put back there on the backside by Helani Cantone in a half-court set. Jumper from out front. Cantone was able to find some space there to really get her rhythm going. Now in transition, Mackin there with a lay-in right side after the dish from the Deja Hughley. And today Bobbitt banging from outside as usual with a three-point basket there for Tuskegee, and down at the block underneath Alexandria Johnson with the nifty move right side all the way to the rack to get that one, and then Cantone followed with a tough shot right side as well. And Double B, Brittany Boland always in the fray, got a roller to go 4-4 there to get that basket for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. So all of those players, different players scoring for the Golden Tigers in that sequence there. But a good Coach Wester's got to be really happy about the performance of this team this afternoon.
Got to be happy with the performance of not only the starters, but the reserves who got a chance to get extra burn with the big lead.
Golden Tigers win it 62-47 over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. They go to 6-4 in SIAC play. That'll do it for our coverage of women's basketball. We'll take a break here. We'll get back. We'll get you set for men's basketball. Golden Tigers getting set to host the Thoroughbreds of KSU. That's just ahead on GTSA.
Tuskegee University's founder, Booker T. Washington, said, "Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way." At many universities, big classes are common. Not at Tuskegee. We have small classes with a 14-to-1 average student-to-teacher ratio. This formula for excellence ensures individualized attention. You get to know your professors, and they get to know you well enough to recommend you for internships, research, graduate programs, and job opportunities. Small classes, big impact. It's all part of educational excellence at Tuskegee University.
The win over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. Mark, as we take a look at some of the post-game stats, the Alabama Department of Public Health post-game stats for the Golden Tigers. Numbers don't look that bad.
I like how Tuskegee improved on their field goal percentage, coming off that under 30% in the first half. We finished with a total of almost 39% from the field. The rebounding advantage is evident. I like the assist advantage, 14-8. Turnovers need to be sliced. There were a lot of sloppy turnovers late in the ball game, but for the most part during the game, Tuskegee handled the pressure well.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. You look at those stats. You're right. A lot of that came near the end of the ball game when it was kind of well at hand. It's the win for the Golden Tigers, but you always want to keep that number as low as possible. But the number that counted, the Golden Tigers got it on the scoreboard. They win at 62-47 over the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. So a nice win for Coach Wester and the Golden Tigers. They'll push on Saturday against the the Lady Bears of Miles College over in Fairfield, Alabama. Take a break here. More basketball action just ahead. That's live on GTSN.
We have this technology. You can make the level 15.
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.